so I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm grateful for it, but today I'm returning to work.
For the love of money. Gotta make that money, man. That money, man, is still the same now. Gotta make that money, man. That money, man, is still the same now. Gotta make that money, man. That money, man, is still the same now. Gotta make that money, man. That money, man.
This was a weird week because I returned to work last Saturday, worked 7 days straight. I'm thinking a lot about April and just how crazy it was, like having to go to the doctor, not being able to get tested for COVID because I was sick but wasn't sick enough to get tested. Thinking about the amount of sirens you heard, like non-stop. I live really close to one of the major hospitals in New York City, and it literally felt like every day you would just hear at least a dozen sirens just up and down the street. It was really weird, and it's strange because for those of us that stayed in New York City for all of COVID, it's weird to think about how far we'd come, but also feeling like we're starting to go back to the previous situations. As someone who's only ever worked in the gig economy, I've been someone that I've never had a salary my entire life. I mean, I work in the arts and I've never had a consistent paycheck ever. If I don't show up to work, I do not get paid. And that's made me approach eating out and budgeting and how I spend my money and taking vacations, which I don't really do, much differently. I'm someone where I will constantly count my pennies to make sure that, I have enough money to continue training for opera or continue training for dance. And I didn't pursue the typical 9-to-5 job or the typical 9-to-5 life. But I just feel that since I came back to New York, I just feel like there's a lot of people that they just have a completely different set of values and a completely different way of living their life when it comes to how they spend their money and what they care about. And I think it kind of is reaching a boiling point with all this stuff happening with coronavirus, because this idea that you care so much about these comforts that I feel like I haven't really felt for a long time, or I just kind of gave up because I had to for the career that I pursue. It's like people wanting to enjoy these comforts and enjoy this certain type of life is causing them to ignore the fact that there's an actual issue. And I find that highly problematic. So, it's about 10, I think. 10:02. Oh, you're gonna be blurry? You're gonna be blurry? Oh, yeah. 10:02, March 10th. I gotta go to bed. So, it is Thursday. I think it's the 12th, March 12th. Things are finally starting to get hectic. I will say I think they're gonna shut down the city probably tomorrow or sometime over the next week. We'll see. But, people are finally taking this seriously. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not at that point where I'm gonna be someone that goes and takes all my money out of the bank or something ridiculous. But folks are starting to stock up. I don't nothing.
sign.
Nothing.
What you gonna do? You can't wait.
This is gonna be short. I had some shortness of breathing yesterday, and I'm gonna go to the ER today, so I don't really feel like taping much.
Which way you going?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to breathe.
Brothers on the slide.
I do have some history with asthma, so,
What you gonna hide?
and I don't
Reckon you're
really have
gonna
much to say. Yeah, that's about it.
It's a shame, but ain't no game. We know which way you going. We know which way you going. Slowly sliding, we're doing all that we can. Slowly sliding, but so is the man.
I remember my mom telling me stories of taking my sister and I to view from a distance a Klan rally that was happening in our town. Now, granted, this was a pretty weak Klan rally. I think there were only 12 to 16 people there that showed up, and they all had their hoods on. And to be honest, they were probably a little bit scared because a pretty decent sized crowd of people showed up to ostracize them. But my mom wanted me to know from a very early age that there were people that weren't necessarily your friends. I'm thinking a lot about that side of America. I'm thinking a lot about small town America. And how is the conversation that I see being held on social media and that I see happening in New York City or in other cities, what does that look like in areas where people are just bold with their racism? I think the thing about living in this city is everybody always loves the energy. They always love like the hustle and bustle. And what's strange is like, I never liked that. I never got that. Like I just didn't get it. I remember when I chose to leave Los Angeles and like move back to New York in 2015. I remember, talking to people, talking to my family in particular, and they were like, just remember that New York City is only fun if you have money. If you have money for Ubers, if you have money to go to bars, if you have money to take classes, if you have money to eat out. And I remember my mom saying something like, New York City is a pressure cooker, and don't forget that. And lots of people who love it because they can afford to live it. And it was interesting to see that a lot of those people that like love the city and love the energy, they also had the money to leave. And people who didn't stayed, And the strange thing is that I've actually started to appreciate a lot of things about the city because of COVID. Things that I never would have expected about the city, and how giving and generous and caring people will be. And I think it's hard to see that in the day-to-day. I mean, if there's one small silver lining, it's that I feel like I understand how resilient this place is. Yeah. I do like how chill it is. I do like that I feel like I have space to breathe. But I don't like the reason for why that is. But it's crazy to see parts of this city just totally deserted. It's crazy that you're seeing New York in a state that no one might ever see it in again. There goes the lights. Well, shit. I need to cook dinner, go to bed, work out. I don't know why I said go to bed and work out, but I'm gonna work out and get some shit done. Everybody stay safe. Day 7 was good. I'm gonna keep at it, and I'm just grateful to have a job, and gonna keep pushing it. So that's all I can do. Night, y'all.